Hi, today we are going to see about cryotherapy. So, the definition of cryotherapy is it is also called as cryoablation or cryosurgery. It refers to the application of extreme cold to destroy the diseased tissue, including the cancer cells. Cryotherapy is the local or general use of low temperatures in medical therapy. So this cryotherapy is very much useful in cancer. In order to destroy this cancer cells, this cryosurgery or cryotherapy is very much useful in the medical field. Let's see the definition of cervical cryosurgery. Cervical cryosurgery or cryotherapy is a gynecological treatment that freezes a section of the cervix. It is more often done to destroy the abnormal cervical cells that shows changes that may lead to cancer. So, in gynecological therapy, mainly in case of cervical cancer, this cryotherapy is very much useful to destroy the cervical cancer cells. Let's see the uses or indications of this cryotherapy. Cryotherapy has been used to destroy skin tumors, precancerous skin moles, or skin tags. It is used to destroy retinoblastomas. It is a childhood cancer of retina. So in case of this retinoblastoma also it is very much useful. Used in prostate, liver and cervical dysplasia, especially if surgery is not possible. So in some cases where the surgery is not possible, suppose in case of third stage or fourth stage of cancer, this cryotherapy treatment is very much useful as a palliative measure to arrest bleeding in cervical cancer or vulval carcinoma. If there is any excessive bleeding and we cannot control those bleeding, in those cases, with the help of this cryotherapy, we can control the bleeding. Also used in treatment for cervicitis or inflammation of cervix. So these are some of the uses or indications of cryotherapy. So this is a picture of skin mole. So before and after application of cryotherapy. So what is the main goal of this cryotherapy? So the main goal is decrease cellular metabolism. So it increases the cellular survival. It decreases the inflammation and also it decreases pain and spasm. It promotes vasoconstriction. So these are the main 5 goals involved in cryotherapy. Now we can see the physiological effect of cold application. So what happens if we apply a cold? Immediate vasoconstriction because the cells die due to loss of blood supply. So when we apply a cold to any particular part of the body, what happens there? The cells will be died due to loss of blood supply. So that happens here. Then decrease local metabolism and enzymatic activity, decrease oxygen demand, then decrease spasticity and alleviate the pain of minor injuries. So the pain will be reduced due to this application of cold. So these are the physiological effect that happens due to this cold application or due to this cryotherapy treatment. Preparation of the procedure. So what are the things to be prepared? No special precaution is needed. So like other surgeries, we don't have to prepare anything because it is just an application of cold to a particular part. Some physicians recommend ibuprofen 400 mg given half an hour before the procedure to relieve the minor discomfort. So other than this, no special precaution is needed for this procedure. So what is the mechanism of action is? It is divided into 3 phases. So the first phase is heat transfer, second phase is cell injury, and third phase is inflammation. So these 3 phases that occurs during this application of cryotherapy. Let's see one by one in detail. So in case of heat transfer, the mechanism by which cryotherapy destroys the targeted cells by the quick transfer of heat. The most commonly used cryogen is liquid nitrogen, which has a boiling point of -196°C. So in this cryotherapy, what they will use is liquid nitrogen. So its boiling point is -196°C. So when application of this liquid nitrogen, it destroys the targeted cells, that may be the cancer cells or any other thing. It destroys by the quick transfer of heat. So this is about the heat transfer. So the next phase is cell injury. Cell injury occurs during the procedure because of the hyperosmotic intracellular condition causing further damage to the tissues. So it is most suitable for the treatment of malignancies. So here it causes the cell injury and damage to the tissues. So due to this process, so the malignancies are treated here. So this is about the cell injury. And the third phase is the inflammation. So this is the last response to cryotherapy is inflammation, which is usually observed as erythema and edema. Inflammation is the response to cell death and helps in local cell destruction. So due to the absorption, heat transfer and cell injury, the final phase is the inflammation. So inflammation occurs due to the cell death and also due to the local cell destruction. So these are the 3 phases that occurs due to the application of this cryotherapy. So this is a picture of cryo gun. So it is filled with liquid nitrogen. So through this gun only they will apply cryotherapy. So let's see the procedure. So this is an outpatient procedure and is done without anesthesia. So no anesthesia is required here. The commonly used technique is freeze, thaw, freeze. This technique is used here. During cryosurgery, the cryo probes are inserted into the vagina until they firmly cover the abnormal areas of cervical tissue. Liquid nitrogen begins to flow through the cryo probes at a temperature of approximately -50°C. This causes the metal probes to freeze. So we have to select the part where we have to apply the cryotherapy. So through the help of a probe, they will insert or they will apply it over the damaged area. Then they will pass this liquid nitrogen gas at a temperature of -50°C. So this causes the areas to freeze. The freeze inactivates the nerves and as a result, painful nerve irritation gets relieved and destroys superficial abnormal cervical tissues. The most effective treatment result is obtained by freezing for 3 minutes and repeating the treatment for more 3 minutes. So we have to apply it for first 3 minutes, then we have to wait for some time, then we have to again apply for 3 more minutes. It is an adequate treatment for most cases of cervical dysplasia, destroying the abnormal cervical tissue in about 85% of cases. So when we are applying this liquid nitrogen gas, it results in painful nerve irritation, where the irritation will be getting relieved by application of this nitrogen gas, and it destroys the superficial abnormal cervical tissues also. So this is about the procedure for application of cryotherapy. So in case of cervical cancer, Compressed nitrogen gas flows through a cryoprobe, making the metal cold enough to freeze and destroy the abnormal cervical tissue. So this probe will be inserted through the cervix and they will pass the nitrogen gas, so that the areas around the cervix will be getting freezed. So it helps in cancer treatment of the cervix. So what are the precautions to be taken after the cryosurgery treatment? In case of cervical cancer, no cervical intercourse for at least 2 weeks. A heavy flow of watery discharge may be expected to occur for the first 10 to 14 days. Slight spotting may occur. The client may return to most normal activities the day after cryosurgery. Do not insert anything into the vagina for at least 2 to 3 weeks, such as tampons, douches, etc. So these are the precautions to be taken in case of cervical cancer treatment, that is after application of cryotherapy. The client should call the healthcare provider if any of the following occur. If the client or the mother have any complaints such as fever, vaginal bleeding if heavier than normal, pain, slight cramping is normal, any severe or increasing pelvic pain should be reported to the doctor immediately. Foul smell or yellow vaginal discharge, this can indicate infection which may need immediate treatment. So if the client has any of these problems, she has to consult the physician immediately. Next we can see the advantages of cryotherapy. So this treatment is less expensive. So when compared to any other cancer treatment, this cryotherapy is less expensive, quick application with little preparation. So no need of the client to get admitted, and they don't want to stay in the hospital for the long time also. Immediately after the application they can go home. So quick application with little preparation is needed. Anesthesia is not required. No secondary hemorrhage. Cervical stenosis is rare. So these are some of the advantages of this cryotherapy. Then in the disadvantages, excessive discharge for about 2 to 3 weeks. So this is the only disadvantages that may happen due to this cryotherapy treatment. Next we can see the complications of cryotherapy. So the complications can be divided into acute complication, delayed complication, prolonged temporary complication and permanent complications. Let's see one by one. In case of acute complication, there is headache, pain, skin damage, blister formation. So these are some of the mild problems that may occur after the cryotherapy treatment. In case of delayed complication, it may occur after some time. There is chance for hemorrhage, infection, excessive granulation tissue formation. So these are some of the delayed complications that may occur. Then in case of prolonged temporary complication, there is chance for milia. Milia is the spots in the face or any other part. It may occur. Small whitish spot like thing will be occurring. Then hyperpigmentation is there is a color change in the skin, maybe like a spots. So this is the prolonged temporary complication that may occur. In the permanent complication, there is chance for alopecia. Alopecia is the hair loss. Then atrophy. Atrophy is the decrease in size of a body part or a cell or any organ or tissue. So there will be reduction in the size. So that is atrophy. Next, there is chance for keloid formation. So keloid is a raised scar after an injury has healed. It is caused by an excess of protein in the skin during healing. So due to this healing process, these keloids may occur. Next is the scarring. Scarring is a marking that occurs after a wound has healed. So scarring may occur. Then hypopigmentation. Hypopigmentation is a patches of skin that are lighter than your overall skin tone. So the skin color may change into white color, white or lighter than your skin tone. So that is known as hypopigmentation. Next is ectropion. So ectropion is drooping of eyelid. Suppose in case of eyes, if you are treating for retinoblastoma, there will be drooping of eyes. That is the lower lid will turn outward. So that is known as ectropion. Whereas in case of cervical cancer treatment, the cervical cells lining the cervical canal lay on the outside of the cervix. So this causes non-itchy discharge and also occasional bleeding also. So drooping outward is known as ectropion. So these are some of the permanent complications that may occur due to cryotherapy treatments. I repeat: alopecia, atrophy, keloids, scarring, hypopigmentation and ectropion. Next we can see the contraindications of cryotherapy. So contraindications has relative contraindication and absolute contraindications, where in case of relative contraindication, caution should be taken while doing this procedure. In case of absolute contraindication, where it causes life-threatening problems to the client. So the relative contraindications include cold tolerance, cold urticaria, cryoglobulinemia, history of pyoderma gangrenosum and Raynaud disease. So these are some of the relative contraindication. So I will show you the picture. Whereas in case of absolute contraindication, it includes the use of cryotherapy near the eye margin. So when you are applying it in the eye margins, we have to be very cautious during the application. So in case of relative contraindication, there is chance of cold tolerance. So cold tolerance is the ability to withstand cold. Then in case of cold urticaria, so this is a picture of cold urticaria where abnormal reddening of the skin may occur. It causes itching also. This is cold urticaria. Next is cryoglobulinemia. So inflammation of blood vessels which causes restriction in the blood flow and damage to the vital organs and tissues. So that is known as cryoglobulinemia, where the inflammation of blood vessels occur. It causes restriction of blood flow and damage to the vital organs and tissues. Next, pyoderma gangrenosum. So it is a large painful sores that may occur due to overactivity of the immune system. So due to this application of cryotherapy, there is chance for pyoderma gangrenosum. So let's conclude the topic. We have seen about the cryotherapy definition, mode of action, so how it works, and we have seen the indications or uses of cryotherapy and the contraindication, advantages of the cryotherapy. So let's conclude. Cryotherapy is a safe and easy to use treatment to destroy many benign cell tumors and lesions. I think everyone has understood the topic. Thank you everyone.